My name is Dana. I am a certified health coach, a certified personal trainer, and a licensed cosmetologist. And I absolutely love to look into ingredients and learn about everything that's in my cosmetics. So I thought I would just go ahead and share my findings with you so you can learn a little bit more and make wise decisions about what you use on your skin. Today's product is 100% pure, long-last liquid eyeliner in black tea. Today's ingredient is the Polysorbates, namely 20 and 80. The Polysorbates 20 and 80 also go by different names that I just, for the life of me, cannot pronounce. So you can check that out more for yourself in the links in the description, or go to the EWG website and take a look on there for yourself. Polysorbates are manufactured chemical products from sorbitans, which are derived from something called sorbitols. Sorbitols do occur naturally, and they are also derived from glucose. As you're familiar, glucose can be used as sweeteners, and sorbitols are also originally used as laxatives. So I don't know if that's something they still do, or if that was just something they used in the past. The purpose of polysorbates in cosmetics is to use as a surfactant, meaning it reduces surface tension in products, so it gives it more of like a slip. Polysorbates are also used as an emulsifier, which when you're formulating cosmetics and you have an oil and a water ingredient to put together, oil and water doesn't mix. So, the oil will rise to the top of the water and it just sits there. While in cosmetics, generally, you don't want that to happen. So instead of having to shake something up all the time, which you don't want your cosmetics separating, you add an emulsifier. So the emulsifier binds the two. It's called hydrophilic and lipophilic. So it likes both the oil and the water in the cosmetic concentration, and it binds them together. So it's like a peaceful product. It brings the two sides together and mixes them beautifully. Several uses for polysorbates in cosmetics are in moisturizers, shampoos, foundations, primers, scrubs, mascaras, brow liner, sunless tanners, sunscreen, a lot of products. The Environmental Working Group rates it as a between 1 and 3 score. I believe it's in the yellow range. Anything after 1 or 2, I believe, goes into the yellow range. It does have use restrictions, which are low. It scores as a low in use restrictions, non-reproductive organ system toxicity, low. Irritation, skin, eyes, or lungs is low, as well as contamination concerns. That is a little high, and I'll go into that a little bit more. How is it manufactured? I'm going to read this verbatim because it was just way too much for me to take in. It is defined as a laurate ester of sorbitol and its anhydrides, copolymerides with approximately 20 moles of ethylene oxide for each mole of sorbitol and sorbitol anhydrides. The fatty acids may be of vegetable, animal, or synthetic origin. Based on that definition about the 20 moles of ethylene oxide for each mole of sorbitol. And mole is just it's a chemistry term. It's a unit of measurement. So polysorbate 80 is 80 moles of ethylene oxide per mole of sorbitol. Generally, sorbitol in and of itself is safe to use because it is a natural sugar. The problem is when, or the concern is when it's mixed with ethylene oxide, which that is considered to have some health concerns when it's used on its own. Ethylene oxide can't be used in cosmetics. It has to be mixed with something else, kind of like a buffer. And it is safe to use in smaller doses, such as when it's mixed in together with the polysorbates. Unlike the EWG's rating of 1 to 3 for polysorbate 20 and polysorbate 80, if you type in ethylene oxide to research that on its own, that comes up as a 10, which is the highest rating you can give an ingredient or chemical on the EWG website. So that's high in everything. Use restrictions was high. Non-reproductive organ system toxicity, high. Irritation, skin, eyes, lungs, high. And occupational hazards, high. So that's really concerning in and of itself, right? I have read on several natural product websites to avoid polysorbates due to cancer concerns. However, those are due to constant exposure, such as people who manufacture polysorbates, anything having to do with manufacturing and the handling of ethyl oxide in the polysorbates. Those are the people that really have to be careful. And of course, OSHA here in the United States has limits of the amount that's safely used for employees who are working around that substance. And of course, you know, they have to take extra precaution when working in and around these ethylene oxide. You can read more about that in the links that I put in the description, as always. Like I say, always read the labels. Cosmetics labels, always read them. It's on the box or printed directly on the labels. So if you have products that you've been using and you don't have like cosmetic label because it was on the box and you threw the box out, you can check on their website and just always read for yourself. You're probably asking, what are some alternatives? Some ingredient alternatives, and these ingredients do different things and might not be conducive to what the polysorbates would do. But if you want to still look and try to stay as much away from polysorbates as you can, then you can look for things such as sucrose laurate, sucrose stearate, which are both derived from sugar. Remember, sucrose, glucose, those have sugar. Fructose, I can go on, but I won't. So both sucrose laurate and sucrose stearate come from sugar, and they're mixed with fatty acids. These two tend to be ingredients that are not only used in safer cosmetics, but also in food. So I'm going to do a video about that maybe next week or so. But until then, just know they're safe. They're considered safe ingredients for both food consumption and cosmetics. The FDA does consider the sucrose laurate and sucrose stearate to be safe to use and are used as safe ingredients by the EWG. And of course, put the links in the description. And you're probably asking yourself, should I use this? Although the main concern of cancer mainly applies to workers who are constantly exposed to ethylene oxides. The amount of polysorbates is low, depending on the amount of polysorbates. There's also 40 and 60, but usually it's 20 and 80 that are used in cosmetics. They are considered safe to use by the FDA, so if you're not worried about it, then go for it. If you do have some concerns or want to try to reduce the amount of certain chemicals in your cosmetics, then you may want to either pick and choose which products you use that contain the polysorbates, or just stop using them altogether. And you can look for sucrose ingredients, like I already mentioned. As of now, I'm not super concerned about it. I think that as I run out of certain products that do contain this, maybe I will look at replacing them with different products that don't have the polysorbates and have something that's even safer to use instead. But I mean, I'm not losing sleep over it, but I might make more of an effort in the future to reduce my use of the polysorbates. Anyway, I hope you found this helpful. If you want to look deeper into these ingredients that I mentioned, you can always check the links to the websites that have all the information that I've given you, and then some, because I can only have so long of a script. So I hope this was helpful to you. Let me know in the comment section if you have a lot of products that have the polysorbates, what you think. Are you concerned about it? Let me know. I want to know. I'm very curious. Keep an eye out for more videos about other ingredients. And I'm also going to be doing a couple of different videos concerning ingredients, and not necessarily a tutorial at the end. Have fun. Today's tutorial is how specifically I do my eyeliner, the wing liner, and I do have hooded lids. So if you have not extremely hooded lids, but hooded enough, and you want to have more of a view of how I do my eyeliner, then stay tuned and keep watching this video, and you'll see that for you. Thank you so much for watching, and you have a great rest of the day. Be blessed. Bye.
Okay, so I am going to start with my eyeshadow. So I get my contour, and I'm going to apply it in like kind of a pointed C shape. I do not contour my crease because my crease is way too low. So I apply it to the outer corner and kind of high, and I blend it in. Here I'm coming in with my mid-tone, and that's going to blend in with my contour. So you can see it's a little lighter, but it's not a shocking transition. And I apply it and I blend it as I go. Here I'm coming in with my lighter color, and that's for my lid, and I put it a little bit into the corner of my eye. And I just have to make sure it's even. I'm going to apply the highlighter just to the inner corner of my eye only, and then I go in and apply a shimmer over it, just because I like that extra little pop of highlight color in my eyelids. And this is my blender brush, and I'm just going to blend it all together so you don't see any lines. Here I come in with that contour, but I bring it into the outer corner of my eye. And I like to go in my lash line, my lower lash line, with a white pencil. And here is the main event. So you'll notice I apply a little bit towards the outer corner of my line, my lash line. And then I work my way to the inner corner because I don't want to have a huge amount of product going into my inner corner, because I need a thin line because of my hooded lids. And you always have to make sure your eyes are open the whole time you apply it. Now I did a little boo-boo right there because normally I am so blind that I need to have my mirror closer to my face so I can see it. So normally I wouldn't do that. And then I just kind of bring out that line a little bit more. And then I do a little bit of a flick right there. And again, normally with the mirror closer to my face, I would catch a little bit. I'd make it a better line. Here I come in with a black eyeliner, just not even the outer third of my lower lash line, just to give my eyes a little bit more of an opening. And even though my eyelashes don't curl, I still go in with an eyelash curler. Last but not least, my black mascara. If you notice, I use the outer end of the wand to apply some of the product on the outer lashes, and then I go ahead and go from root to tip. Gotta get the lower lashes.